What's up, everybody? This is What is Sports. I'm your host, Tyler Dietz. With me is Nick Grant. How you doing, man?
Doing great. This is actually a very big episode for us. I'm really excited, and I'm ready for this countdown. And hey, guys, happy birthday to us.
Happy birthday indeed.
Birthday.
Which, actually, I don't know our exact birth date. It's maybe a week from now or so. But, yeah, we're fixing to turn 1 year old. Oh, of course, we can't forget to introduce JP Cochran. How you feeling now that you're 1 year old, JP?
I feel good. I just, I think I've gotten over breastfeeding. I've gone to the bottle.
You able to say mama or dada yet?
Yeah, I'm walking a little bit, getting crazy, putting my diaper on my head.
Good clean fun right there.
Yeah.
Good clean fun.
I haven't started wiping doo-doo on the walls yet. But,
oh, man, well, just wait till we get to 2. That's what it's all about.
Terrible twos, man.
But, yeah, this is What is Sports. We're talking about sports, ranking our favorites from 10 to 1, and also this episode we're going to share a few of our resolutions, because I know that all of us have enjoyed the sports that we've covered, but we haven't really kept up with some of them. Like I remember we covered lacrosse, and I literally didn't watch a single game of lacrosse after talking about it on the show. I know, shocker.
Well, where do you watch it? I don't even really know.
I don't even remember. I think we explained it on the episode, but that was so long ago. And yeah, I mean, I can't believe we've been doing this for a year, though. It does not seem that long. I don't know. Maybe it's different for you, Nick, since you've had a kid that you've been raising.
No, it really hasn't seemed like it's been a year. For me, this past year has flown by. Obviously, having a kid, that time goes by so fast. But I was just thinking about this, and it's like, man, March Madness is here again. This is where we started. Well, March Madness is going to be in a few weeks, but still, like we're right. It's almost that time, and it's crazy to think that a year ago we were like, oh, let's do this thing and see how we like it, and obviously we like it enough to go for a year.
Yeah, we haven't missed it. Yeah, we haven't really missed a single week except for like Christmas break and Thanksgiving break, I think maybe.
Yeah.
But anyways, we're keeping strong with it. Now, if you're listening to this, you may be a first-time listener who's joining us because of our Twitter giveaway, our Amazon gift card giveaway. So stay tuned for that. We'll be announcing the winner on the show, and we'll provide instructions for how to claim your prize. But first, let's do some social media plugs. If you don't follow us on Twitter yet, follow us at whatisports1 with no question mark. We're also on Instagram at that same handle. Give us a like on Facebook, and send us an email at wisportscast@gmail.com if you have any comments, questions, concerns, or just kind of want to give us general feedback. Also, of course, subscribe to our show on any of your popular podcasting apps. We're also on SoundCloud and YouTube nowadays. Also, please leave us a rating and review on iTunes. That helps us a lot. Okay, let's begin with what's going on. So, I've been watching some wrestling, okay?
Oh, man.
Yeah. I haven't been watching a lot of other sports, which wrestling isn't a sport, but the Super Showdown was this past week. We had the something big happened because it's the road to WrestleMania. And y'all know Goldberg? You're familiar with Goldberg, right?
Yeah, he's like old school wrestler, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. He's
not vintage old school, but like he's been around
back
for
in
a
like
while.
the 90s and stuff was his prime.
Yeah.
And he's back. He's old, but he's still huge.
Well, no kidding.
Yeah, he's still huge and bald. He defeated The Fiend. I think I told you guys about this guy. He's like this demon character. He's like basically a monster, and he kind of shows up and like just destroys and dominates. He's never been defeated. So Goldberg was finally the guy to take The Fiend down. It's a really exciting moment of Super Showdown. And then, guys, get this, okay? So WrestleMania is coming up in, I think, April 4th, I believe is when it is. WrestleMania is coming up. So just the other night, okay, I believe this was this was Friday Night SmackDown. John Cena comes. Been a while since we've seen John Cena.
Well, you can't see him because he's invincible or invisible. You can't see him. Yeah, that's what they say. You can't see him. He's invisible.
But
that's his shtick.
But you can see him in Fast 9 coming to theaters this this summer. But
not a sponsor, by the way.
Right. But so John Cena comes on Friday Night SmackDown, and he basically comes out and he says, "Hey, look, everyone, I'm here to announce that I'm not going to be attending this year's WrestleMania." And everyone was really sad and stuff, and he was like, "Yeah, I gotta pave the way, like, kind of let the new generation take over, and I'm passing the torch and all that stuff." And so he's like, "So I'm sorry, not going to WrestleMania." Then, boom, lights go out.
Uh-oh.
Boom, lights come back on. Guess who's standing behind John Cena? It's The Fiend. Fiend is back. The Fiend challenges John Cena to a match at WrestleMania. John Cena gives him a nod and accepts. So it's going down at WrestleMania. John Cena versus The Fiend.
This sounds too good to be true. Do you think this was staged by any means?
No, I think it happened completely organically, Nick. As do all things in wrestling. But yeah, so I'm pretty pumped for WrestleMania. I've never watched WrestleMania before. From what I hear, it's like 7 hours long, and a lot of people don't like it because it's just too much. But I don't care. I'm gonna watch it anyways because that's kind of what I'm getting into nowadays.
Do you know where WrestleMania is going to be at?
Let's find out. I do not know.
Because I know at one time it was at AT&T
That's right.
Stadium.
That was a few years ago.
Okay, yeah.
Let's see, WrestleMania 36, and of course I Google search it, and they come up with coronavirus stuff. Every time I search up a sports thing, they're always like, maybe compromised because of the coronavirus outbreak. But that's going to be in Tampa Bay, Florida.
Oh, really? Okay.
So, yeah, it should be exciting. Honestly, I don't really watch the wrestling matches. I just fast forward through the actual matches, and I watch the in-between stuff, like the hypes and the monologues and all that, but because it's just too much.
So you miss out on the main wrestling part. Like you don't care about.
I don't care about the wrestling.
Slams.
It's all the same stuff. It's all they just body slam each other for like 30 minutes and then there's a winner.
So why do you like the hype if you don't watch the?
I like the storylines and I like the characters and I just like kind of following along. It's like a soap opera basically. So that's
wouldn't it just be easier to just to read about it? Like after
boring.
the fact?
That's boring. You don't get to see them trash talk each other and all that stuff. That's the joy of wrestling. Right. I might be in the minority with this though, because I know that a lot of people, because they have NXT on Wednesday nights, and a lot of people like that a lot because there's a lot less focus on the storylines and a lot more focus on the actual wrestling. But I think that the actual wrestling is kind of boring. Anyways. That's pretty much all I've been watching. I watched a little bit of XFL, just a teeny tiny bit. I saw that
there's some good games this weekend.
Yeah, well, I saw that the Vipers somehow they like destroyed. Was it New York? They destroyed New York, right?
No. It was. Do you just want to jump into the XFL stuff?
Yeah, let's jump into XFL stuff.
Let's go for it, man. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
XFL,
Okay,
Nick.
so man. Tampa Bay Vipers, they completely destroyed the DC Defenders.
That's right, DC.
What was the final score? 25-0.
Hey. Didn't the Vipers get crushed like the first week and we all thought they were just god-awful?
Yeah, we thought they were terrible. They looked awful.
We thought the DC Defenders were good the first week.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the DC Defenders the last 2 weeks have been destroyed. The Wildcats got their first win last week against the Defenders and just killed them. And then the Vipers just went berserk and won 25-0.
How does that happen?
Man, football's crazy. And, this is the XFL. Nobody knows deets. We were texting about this. And so I actually I finished watching the Renegades and Roughnecks game. And it's like, well, I want to watch the Vipers.
I did watch that one. That one was really good, except for the beginning. The beginning was terrible. The Renegades quarterback throwing all those interceptions and stuff.
Landry Jones. Man, that was...
Yeah.
So the Roughnecks won. Well, do we just want to jump around or...
Yeah, we'll jump around.
Okay, so the Roughnecks, they beat the Renegades 27-20. And I don't know if you guys paid attention on social media at all, but the Renegades and the Roughnecks social media teams were like just talking trash, like leading up to this game. It was hilarious. But yeah, Landry Jones, he threw 3 picks in the first quarter, and I was watching it delayed because I had family over and stuff, so I was watching it a little bit later. And I was texting Dietz like, man, this guy is terrible. But then I felt bad because he got hurt and he's out 2 weeks. But anyways, it was actually a really entertaining game. I thought the Roughnecks would just destroy the Renegades, but really the Renegades defense kind of kept it's a lot of R's, the Roughnecks in check for the most part.
It was solid. It was a good game.
Yeah, PJ Walker's probably the best quarterback in the league, and I mean he was good in this game, but it looked like the Renegades kind of contained him for the most part. Houston went up 15-0, and it's like, oh, this is gonna be bad news. But then in like no time, the Renegades scored, and it was actually 15-11 at the half, and they got it to 21-20 Houston, and then it looked like the Renegades were going to score, and Landry Jones got hit and fumbled, and Houston scooped and scored to go ahead, and then at the end,
that was heartbreaking.
Oh well, it gets worse, as you know. So the Renegades are within striking distance. The game's late. Landry Jones, they're going down the field, and then like I said, he got hit. And it re-injured his knee that he hurt in training camp, and so he's out 2 weeks. They put in the backup quarterback, and they were going down the field, and it's like, oh, they might win. This is exciting. And then he threw an interception, like on the 3-yard line, and so that was like, what a complete letdown.
Well, and that's two instances of just folding under pressure, basically, from on Dallas's part. And
well, I don't know if I would say folding, because Landry Jones, their starting quarterback, who played okay for most of the game, got injured, and this guy's thrown in a high pressure situation. Is
this guy from the reserve team?
No, he was. What's his name? Is his name Silvers? I think. Does that sound right? Is he the backup?
I have no idea.
But because I feel like the guy who started, one of the quarterbacks was like sent down or something like that to the reserve. I don't know. I just remember, I feel like I heard that the quarterback who like started maybe the first game was
Nelson was the second quarterback that they put in, Philip Nelson.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking of. I don't know I think Silvers is somebody else, obviously. But yeah, so I can't blame him. It was just very disappointing as a lifelong Renegades fan.
Since they've been around, yes, the very.
Oh yeah, y'all are in it. Like y'all are. You went to the first Renegade game, and so you're in it for life. Right. You're a Renegade. Oh yeah, for life.
Got the bandana and everything.
That's
right.
But building an empire here.
You're an outlaw, man.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it was a pretty entertaining game, and so after I watched that, I turned on the Tampa Bay Vipers game and the DC Guardians, and I saw the score was 25-0, and it's like, all right, I'm not watching this. I've seen enough for these 3 seconds. But yeah, I just kind of recap the other 2 games, or what were your thoughts, Dietz?
Well, okay. Yeah, because real quickly, you had LA and New York. New York won 17-14, then you had Seattle and St. Louis. St. Louis won 23-16. And kind of my general feelings about the XFL, I think I've decided, right? I think that Houston and St. Louis are good teams. Dallas is a decent team. All the other teams, I think, suck. And I think that's why we have such volatile scores and why it's so unpredictable, because I just think that the other teams on the XFL just aren't very good, because that shouldn't happen, right? That the team that's regarded as the worst in the league wins 25-0. Against a team that's been regarded as not that bad.
Well, here's the thing, though, about that. I'm just going to comment on the Vipers. I'm not a Vipers fan, but I might be. I don't know. So throughout the season, like JP, you said, they were destroyed in week 1. Everybody laughed at them. And obviously, they got their first week this past week, but the week before that, they played the Roughnecks, and they did pretty well. You could see from week 2 on, they were improving and getting better. So I put more stock in the Tampa Bay Vipers because I can see improvement. They're playing better as a team. They are using the quarterback, Taylor Cornelius. He's getting kind of settled in, and they're kind of clicking a little bit. So, I don't think they're. I mean, they're not great, but they're better than bad, which isn't really saying much as an endorsement. But I think they're one of the out of all the middle tier teams in the league, which is there's only like 2 or 3. There's not a whole lot of teams. I would say they're one of the better middle tier in this league.
So what's your power rankings right now?
My power rankings, I have the Houston Roughnecks at 1, which isn't surprising. St. Louis Battlehawks at 2. Then I went Dallas Renegades 3 because they could have won that game.
They could have won.
They could
yes.
have. But yeah, it also could have been a lot worse, but they had an opportunity to win. And then at 4, I have the Tampa Bay Vipers at 1 and 3. And then below them, I have the Seattle Dragons, the New York Guardians, the LA Wildcats, and then the DC Defenders because they just look like hot, steaming garbage the last 2 weeks. So those are my rankings. Felt weird putting a 2-2 team at the last place, but you get shut out, and
but it's like if you're playing against other bad teams. I mean, yeah, that's why I just think that we got 2 good teams, 1 decent team, and then 5 bad teams. That's what I think.
I mean, it's crazy. It's unpredictable, and that's what I like about it. You never know. Because I was completely shocked when I texted Dietz, and he probably felt like I was on something when I texted him because I was just borderline, not outraged, but there was a lot of confused excitement, if that's a thing. When I texted Dietz the score, when I turned the game on, and he was like, okay. he didn't know what I was talking about, but I was like, man, it's crazy. But yeah, those are my rankings. And the XFL, still a lot of fun. Renegades for life. It's a great
We're almost halfway
thing.
through the regular season. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, that's
crazy, man.
Yeah, next week is Game 5. So,
but whenever we get to the playoffs, anything can happen. How long did you say Landry Jones is out?
2 weeks.
So he'll be back.
He's expected to miss 2 weeks.
Okay, I thought he was going to be out for a longer period of time, so that's good. And I feel like Landry Jones is kind of like the face of the XFL.
Well, yeah, because he was the first overall pick, right? When they did the draft, he was the first guy chosen.
So, but anyway, I think Dallas. You know what I hope happens. I don't know how who will face who in the playoffs or the championship, but I hope Dallas meets Houston again at some point. Like in the playoffs, postseason.
I think they will. Yeah, because this was a Dallas home game. They'll have a Houston home game.
Right, because they're in the same division.
So maybe they'll play each other in the playoffs, and Dallas will.
Oh yeah, it's
the
top 2 East and the top 2 West, and if things can kind of continue as they are, Dallas would be number 2 in their division or conference. I don't know what they're really called. And then they'd end up facing the Roughnecks. Right. So that'd be fun.
I hate the Roughnecks as much as I hate the Eagles. Or the
they're fun to. That's pretty good. They're fun to watch though.
No, I'm just kidding. It's just because they talk trash. They talk trash about Dallas and about the Renegades.
It hurt your feelings.
Yeah, it made me mad.
All right. Well, we're going to be moving on to our year 1 countdown of our top favorite sports. But first, let's announce the winner of our March Madness Twitter giveaway for a $15 Amazon gift card. So, the winner, drumroll please, Mike Warney is the winner of the drawing.
Mike, I know Mike.
You know Mike?
No, I don't know Mike.
So, Mike Warney, please send us a direct message on Twitter to claim your prize.
Mike, good job, Mike.
Send us a direct message with your email address. We can send you the Amazon gift card that way. Please message us before next Tuesday when we record our next episode. That's Tuesday, March 10th. In order to win. But everyone else, if you did not win your prize, then stay tuned for next week because we'll be doing another giveaway next time.
Better luck next time.
Better luck next time, everybody. So let's get into the countdown, our top favorite sports, right? Because remember, guys, a year ago seemed like so long ago. We were so young.
A year younger.
Right. I didn't know hardly anything about sports, right? And look where we are. I still don't know the difference between Minute Maid Park and Globe Life Park, but
Yeah, no, now it'll be Globe Life Field, but
that's right. Even more confusing. Thanks a lot, Jerry Jones. Right?
No.
Here we are, though. A year later, we've watched a lot of sports. I know that you guys have covered sports that you never had really watched before.
Oh yeah.
So let's talk about it. We're going to rank them because that's what I've kind of been doing in my head, right? I've been going into watching each sport and getting into it because really, whenever we cover it on the show, I do really get into it. If it's something like lacrosse, for example, after we're done covering it, it's out of my mind forever. I just forget about it and move on. But the big ones have kind of stuck with me, at least somewhat. So we're going to start from the bottom, okay? Now, these aren't all the sports we've covered, but these are the major ones, okay? And so we're not going to include stuff like spelling bee or professional eating in this list.
Which we should, but...
but kind of the major American sports, basically. And so, unfortunately, rugby and cricket won't be involved as well. Hang on a second. I got an ambulance passing by my window. All right. Now, JP, do you want to go first with your number 10 sport, your worst sport?
My worst sport? Yeah, sure. I'll go first. My number 10 would be motorsports.
Wow. I am hurt, JP. Why?
Yeah, okay.
Why is motorsport number 10?
Okay, because that's the one that I just don't really watch at all. Man, I've caught the highlights when we cover the IndyCar, NASCAR, F1 races. But okay, this we were talking about before the show, just how hard it was to make these lists and how they can change. When it comes to motorsports being my least favorites, that could change in the next year. I don't know.
The more you get into it, the better it is. I know it seems like it's going to be a pain watching it live, but it's good to have on, like if you're kind of folding laundry or cleaning or whatever, and then you end up getting into it because you start recognizing the racers, and then it's fun. But all right, let's move on to the next one. Nick, what's your number 10?
Well, first off, I just like to say that how I ranked these sports. So basically my criteria for my rankings was, would I watch this if it was on TV? Like if I'm flipping the channels and say, hey, this is on, would I want to watch this? Mm-hmm. And for a lot of these sports, the answer was no. And the easiest choice for me for my number 10 is motorsports and racing as well.
Oh, you suck.
I'm sorry.
I had a feling that was at the bottom.
Yeah, it's just, whenever it's on TV, I'm like, I just don't feel like watching a bunch of cars go around the track.
Yeah.
I could go to a go-kart place and watch a bunch of kids, or actually drive myself and race around, and that'd be fun. But I just don't have any attachment to it. And I think that's the thing. Is like you said, Dietz, it's more fun when you get involved and invested. I'm not invested in these racers really, or these races, and so for me, I don't know. I've never really had a desire to watch it. I will say this though, when we did the IndyCar 500 and a few other races, and I opened my mind to it, I did enjoy it. I thought it was fine. It's just it's not something I'm gonna actively seek out. And if it's on TV, chances are I'm gonna.
You were burned by the Daytona 500 because you were actually gonna give it a chance, and the dang thing didn't start because of rain.
I know. I forgive the rain. I forgive NASCAR, but that was not a nice day for me. But yeah, I'm gonna pretty much pass on racing anytime except for the show. That's the point of the show, is to keep an open mind and learn about sports and sporting events. And so when it comes around, I'll watch it and give it a shot. I'm not closing the book on it, just saying chances are if it was up to me, I would not watch racing at all.
Well, the F1 and IndyCar season start on March 15th. So we're actually going to be talking about it in a couple weeks. So
Are you serious?
yeah, so
I might be sick
now's
that
your
week.
chance. Both
Yeah.
of you.
I just remembered I got to do something that day.
Oh my
I
god!
can't remember
It'd
what.
just be me talking about cars. I'll be like, oh, there it goes again. Around
well,
one more lap.
it'll be a great show. It'll be a good show.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a good show. But I'm excited about it, honestly. But just my number 10.
All right, well-
Not for me.
Well, my number 10 is the only sport on this list that I do not like. I straight up don't like this sport. It's stupid and boring. Which sport am I talking about?
I know what you think.
Let me see.
I know what it's going to be. It's going to make me mad. I can feel the anger building.
It's going to be combat.
No. Nick, what do you think?
Baseball.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
It's golf. It's golf. Golf, golf is a stupid sport. It is stupid. Hey. No, it's stupid. It's okay to play, I imagine, but it's a stupid sport to watch. It is boring as hell. Even the announcers are bored. The people watching are bored. They're not watching a sport. They're standing outside in the grass. That's all it is. And it's terrible. JP, what's your number 9?
My number 9 is combat.
Combat sports.
Yep. And, this would probably be a lot of people's number 1. Like, I mean, who wouldn't want to, but I don't know. Actually, right now I'm thinking about, like, a big fight coming up. Like,
Just thinking about it.
See, but also, JP, have you ever watched, like, a big fight, though? Like, have you ever gotten into it and watched it?
Not many. And, actually, when I do, I do get pretty excited.
Yeah.
Like, on fight night.
Yeah.
It is pretty, it is pretty exciting. Oh.
It's hard to keep up with, I'll give you that, though.
But it's just like, I hardly ever watch it, and I don't think about it that much unless, like, like every few months or every month or so, there'll be a big fight and talk. But you know what? I mean, you got to spend like $80 on pay-per-view.
Not all the time.
Not all the time.
Because we watched some UFC. Was it UFC or some boxing?
Well, so they do have PBC boxing on I think it's on like Fox or something like that. And then there are occasionally some boxing matches on cable, and then
because I know for the show we watched UFC
Fight Night is on ESPN.
You're right, yeah, and we watched that the other time.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun.
Yeah,
it was a lot, but it was fun.
But granted, the fights that are really worth watching, if anyone wants to get into combat sports, the ones that you have to watch are the pay-per-view ones, which sucks. But again,
just get some buddies, get some people together,
get some buddies, get a club.
Yeah, split the cost. Yeah. Yeah, invite us over. We'll pay for it too. We'll chip in. We'll watch some.
But so Nick, what's your number 9?
My number 9 is soccer.
Ooh.
Also known as football. Not a fan, and I've expressed my non-fanness, I guess, of the sports. And I'll say this, and I did say this before, also on the show. I can get into it, especially for like World Cup. Pulling for Team USA, which is not that great, but hey, that's my team. And I don't know, I just have no desire to watch soccer. And like I said, if it's on TV, like I know, like I'll be flipping through and I'm like, oh, this is a good match. This is a Bundesliga or whatever deets and
yes,
Serie A. Like, so like, I recognize it now.
I'm surprised that you even knew that word.
Yeah, that's the German soccer league, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, see, like I know about this because of the show, and so that's great. But no, I'm never gonna watch it unless somebody wants to watch it. And if it's on TV, I'm gonna pass.
Right.
But it's a little bit better than motorsports because soccer, I mean, it can be entertaining, and I think I would like to go to a soccer match in person because they seem fun to attend in person. But watching on TV, that seems like a waste of 5 hours.
Well, I mean, they're only like 2 hours long, but
yeah, but okay. it feels like 5 hours, so right. I'm gonna pass.
Okay, my number 9 is hockey, and let it be known that all of mine after golf are good. I enjoy all these to an extent, but hockey's my least favorite of the ones that I like because the puck moves too fast. I feel like it is not. It is hard to follow in that sense. There is a strategy to it. There is a structure to it, but it kind of takes the things that I like about soccer and it speeds them up too much so that it's not as easy to follow. And I think that hockey is really fun to watch, like in slow motion, like watch instant replays and highlights and stuff. And also like the fact that you can't really hardly see the players, and it's hard to get to know the hockey stars, because I actually have been watching quite a bit of hockey. The Dallas Stars specifically, and although I like it, it's just, I mean, there's things about it that kind of make it tough to watch sometimes.
All right, those are valid points, but yeah, I mean, I agree. It's fine.
All right,
that's good.
Well, JP, go on with your number 8.
My number 8 is hockey.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, my voice just cracked.
I mean.
Well, I mean, he did just turn 1, so.
Yeah. It is. I mean, hockey can be very exciting, especially like, and a lot of this depends on like if your team is in it. Like,
yeah.
So like, like last year, when we were just a few months old or a few weeks old, I don't know, a few months old. The Dallas Stars were in the playoffs, and that was exciting. Like we're kind of talking about, oh, what if we go to a game, or I don't know, but it was exciting seeing them in the playoffs, and I was like, pretty bummed out whenever they got beat out. But it would be exciting on a game day, even though like some of those games I wasn't even able to watch, but it was nice just having your home team in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it's very likely that they'll be going again this year. They're doing pretty well.
But like if say the Stars were not in it, I probably wouldn't watch it at all. I probably wouldn't. Like, it's hard to keep up with. I know it can be exciting, but it's just if you don't know any of the players or you're not attached to any of the teams, I mean, it's hard to watch.
Yeah.
What about you, Nick? What's your number 8?
No, I agree. My number 8 is also hockey.
Wow.
Whoa, man.
And again, my criteria wouldn't watch it on TV, but really, like, it's I did enjoy it. Like JP said, when we were watching the Stanley Cup playoffs, it was fun. I got into it. I mean, I couldn't really tell you what was going on that much or really any of the players, but I enjoyed watching it. It was fun keeping up with the playoffs, and that's probably something I will, whenever it's on, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll check. I'll keep updated with the playoffs and see what's going on, but I'm not gonna watch it during the regular season, and I've never really had that attachment to hockey. But I will say this: I think through 1 year of What is Sports, hockey is one of the sports I've appreciated the most, or have grown to like the most, which is weird because it's my number 8 sport. But I mean, it's fine. It's just not something I'd ever really watch on TV unless it's the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, my number 8 is extreme sports.
All
and
right.
Yeah. And I mean, because this, we're grouping together pretty much all the X Games sports,
right.
Whether that's skateboarding, snowboarding, skiing, all that stuff. But but honestly though, by Nick's criteria of would I watch this if it was on TV, I would actually pick extreme sports over many other sports that I have higher ranked on this list, just because you don't see them on TV that often. As you would see like basketball or something like that. But it is a lot of fun to watch. After you watch a lot of it, you do kind of feel like you're watching the same thing over and over. But it's still fun to watch. It reminds me of the Olympics, which I always get excited for. Just kind of performance, kind of judgment-based sports. And so, yeah, that's why it's my number 8.
Right. And real quick, what were y'all's criteria for your selections?
So I go based off of entertainment value, basically. But there's a couple of other things that I put into consideration, because like obviously it's got to be entertaining to watch, but it's also got to be valuable in some way. I don't want to spoil some of my higher ranked stuff, but I'll explain that when I get to it. Like
No,
some
that's fine.
sports, I feel like are good to follow because of certain reasons. You know.
Okay.
That's my criteria. What about you,
Yeah.
JP?
Mine are kind of like what I pay most attention to. And like, even if some of them like I might not watch a ton of, but like I know the sport pretty well. I know what's going on, and like, like if it's on TV, at least for the top ones, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could probably already guess which ones they are. But anyway, let's go to my number 7.
Yeah, 7. What do you got?
Would be extreme sports, man.
All right.
Dude, man, at one point when I was like in elementary school, this probably would have been at the top of my list. Back when I used to skateboard and stuff. I used to come home and like put on, like, I don't know what channel. It was channel 26, okay? And
okay, everyone flip to channel 26.
and they would have like all these extreme sports on, like snowboarding, skateboarding, or man, I used to be so much into that.
Well, when we were kids, that was like the golden age of extreme sports.
Yeah,
like
probably
you got like the skateboarding, like music videos and stuff. Like,
you got Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
I mean, those video games were amazing.
Yeah, those were the days.
And he had like all those extremes. Like what was the BMX one? Matt
Hoffman.
or yeah. So it was all everywhere.
Yeah. So part of that is is still with me. So part of that of my childhood is still with me, and I mean I still like if it's on, if the X Games are on, I'll still like tune in and just like watch them because it's cool to see them do what they do.
Seems shred.
But like, do I keep up with it? Do I know what's always happening in the world of X Games, or like, am I gonna try to go to an event and watch it? No, but it's still cool. Like, I mean, actually, I might watch X Games more than some of this, or like extreme sports more than some of this other stuff. But than my higher ranking.
Yeah,
sports.
and it's also not like you're gonna keep up with it either. That's one thing that I could definitely say is I wouldn't know. I mean, I guess I know a few of the top, Winter X Games athletes because we just covered it on the show.
Right.
Yeah.
Will I remember them next year? Who knows?
And most of the guys, like, were big back in the 90s and 2000s. Like, Tony Hawk and Hoffman and all these other
Do you know any others?
All the others. And Spider-Man, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2.
This guy named Bucky Lasik, I remember him. Dude, Travis Pastrana, he's good. Anyway, let's just keep on going.
Yeah.
Keep on going.
Nick, what do you got for your number 7?
Actually, my number 7 and number 6, I kind of have them as a tie, but based on my criteria, this one falls a little bit more to the wayside, and that's combat sports. It's really close with my number 6 just because I'm not a fan of UFC that much. I would rather watch boxing, and I don't even watch boxing. But the reason why I like it is because I like the stories that come from boxing. You have all the history, like we knew, when we did the boxing episode. Obviously, everybody knows Muhammad Ali, and just the stories that come from that are incredible. And also, when I was in high school, my brother and I used to play a lot of Fight Night Round 3.
That's a good game. I remember that.
So I like boxing because I guess basically because I like boxing video games, which I don't know. I guess that's a way to get in boxing. I'm never gonna watch if it's on TV. And also, like I said in the last episode too, I got kind of burned by the Pacquiao Mayweather fight. But I don't know. There's just something about boxing that's very, I don't want to say poetic.
Yeah.
But it's just really cool. Obviously they got all the movies. There's tons of boxing movies, and I don't know. It's just mano y mano. It's just power. It's just I don't know. There's something about it which is so
it's distilling sports down to its essence, right? Which is just gotta beat the other person, like literally.
Right, and so that's why it's my number 7. It's like I want to get into it, I just can't. I'm never gonna watch it, but that's something that I'm drawn to. So like it's a 7 with an asterisk, like I said, because it's kind of tied with number 6. And really, after talking about it, I feel like they should be flipped, but I'll just keep it as is because I'm too lazy to change them. So, yeah, combat sports, number 7, because I'm never going to really watch UFC that much unless
we have to.
yeah, I'm not going to turn it on just to turn it on.
Yeah.
So,
well, my number 7 is baseball.
Baseball.
I'm surprised you have it that high.
Yeah, well, okay, originally baseball was number 9, so golf was always at the bottom. Baseball's my number 7. After some debating with myself, because I don't actually enjoy watching baseball that much. It's too long. It's not super entertaining. I like going to baseball games, but part of what's fun about going to a baseball game is just kind of chilling and hanging out at the ballpark and talking and watching all that stuff. And I like that baseball tickets are cheap usually.
Well, they can be.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you get the back seats, but
oh yeah,
I put baseball at 7 because I don't remember if one of you guys broke it down to me like this or if this is just kind of the idea that I got from it. But I do like that baseball is like Nick, you're like I was saying with combat sports, how that's just a simplification of what sports is, which is just what was that?
Sorry. I accidentally opened something on my phone.
Was that a cat or
I don't
a
know.
child?
I don't know what the world is.
Anyways, so I like that baseball actually comes down to just being a duel between the pitcher and the batter, and that's kind of cool. It's like a chess match, basically. And that's what's interesting about baseball to me. And will I watch it if it's on TV? Probably not. Except for this year, I'm going to become a Rangers fan. I've decided that.
Yeah.
Yep.
As you should.
This is the year I become a Rangers fan.
I think this is like the 5th time you've said that.
That's part of the reason for starting this podcast, because I say stuff like that every year and then I never follow through with it. So this helps me be held responsible or be held accountable. But also what I like about baseball is the iconography of baseball. It does kind of make me a bit nostalgic because I used to be into it when I was a kid, and there's just something classic about baseball. And so that's kind of one of the things I was talking about, where it might not be the most entertaining sport, but it's iconic in a way that I feel like makes it important, like America's pastime and whatnot, You guys have any thoughts on that, or do y'all want to save it till y'all
I'm going to save it because y'all know how I feel about baseball, and it'll be on the next episode. Okay. I'll just say that. So, but no, I think it's cool that you're giving it a chance, and I do agree about the. I know it's people say it's America's pastime, but it's obviously not the most popular sport in America right now. But there's just so much. I'll probably say this again the next week, but I feel like baseball is a great representation of life and everything. Just, I mean, it is like everything about it is just amazing, and you get incredible stories. I mean, with a lot of sports, but with baseball, it just seems bigger and better. I mean, Jackie Robinson, the first African American ball player, like that was huge, and they've made movies about it. Like it's just these iconic moments and these iconic heroes. And it's just crazy what they can do through a game, a child's game, like the impact it can have on a country and around the world. So that's why I think baseball is awesome. And I'll shut up because I don't have anything to say next week. But no,
to be continued. Okay, let's move on to our number 6 pick. So this is going to be our last pick for this episode. Then we'll do our top 5 next episode. So, JP, what's your number 6?
My number 6 would be, at one point this would have been dead last, but I'm gonna have to put it for it's golf. I'll put it in the middle. Golf.
Boo.
Because man, especially whenever Tiger last year won the Masters, man, that was like golf can be so exciting, especially like if it's the last day of the tournament. It can be close. You never know what's gonna happen. It's just fun. It's just like really relaxing to watch, and it goes from one player to another player and then Jim Nance is there talking, kind of
whispering in your ear.
Yeah, whispering in your ear, and it's the golf course is so pretty, and it's always it's like in this it's in the springtime, the warm weather outside. It makes you want to go outside and play golf, and it just, and then like you can follow the players, you can see what's going on, like you can hear from the players as they're going through the round.
Yeah, sounds super exciting.
They'll be talking.
It is,
They'll
man.
be talking to their caddy about their shots, and there's so much strategy involved, and
a lot of pressure. And one thing I like about watching it on TV is that it is fast paced. Because like JP said, it jumps around like House of Pain. So
what really makes it for me is like on the last 9 holes on a Sunday, if it's 2 golfers are close, it can be, I think, pretty exciting. So, and plus, I watch golf more than extreme sports, hockey, combat sports, or motor sports. So, I mean, I know at least more about golfers than any other of the athletes in the other sports. So, and I just had to put it, in the middle.
Well, I guess what I don't like about it that I didn't really mention, because you're talking about going back and forth and the players being close together and stuff. I really hate that the action is so detached from each other, so that it's not like the players are playing the same hole at the same time, and so the competition is very removed from each other, and so to me the stakes never seem very high. I do agree that time when Tiger won the Masters last year, that was really exciting. And I was really fortunate to tune in at just the right moment to see that happen. And so it can be exciting, but I don't know. I'm like, it's like you can watch it for like 30 hours or whatever and maybe get like 1 hour of excitement. But I mean, hey, I respect your ranking though, JP.
And I love I like seeing them hit the drive off and seeing how far that ball goes.
Did y'all see Mike Trout hit the hit the ball like at Topgolf, like whatever, like 400 yards or whatever? Did y'all see that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I did.
Crazy.
I did.
Anyways, Nick,
he's just a freak. I mean, he's an
he should
athletic
play
freak.
golf.
I mean, he can do anything. Like if he want to play football, he could play football. If he wanted, I mean, he can do any sport he wants. He's an athletic freak.
He
He's
might
awesome.
be a superhero, and just
he could be.
You might be.
Yeah.
I think he is.
Trout Man, like he's like Aquaman's buddy. I don't know.
Anyways, Nick, go ahead. What's your number 6?
All right, like I said, this pretty much tied with my last sport, combat sports, but I'm going with extreme sports. And the reason this has a slight edge is because chances are, if I'm flipping through the channels, I'm like, hey, X Games is on. I'll check it out. I might watch it. So that's why it has a slight edge. But, typically I'm not going to watch it very often, if at all. But it is pretty entertaining, and the athletes do pretty incredible things. And sometimes, I mean, pretty much what they're doing is pretty dangerous. Dangerous stunts. And so when you kind of look at it like that, like that's pretty impressive. So I mean, it's entertaining. I'm not going to watch it that much, but
are you not entertained?
Cool. What was it? Maximus Aurelius, right? Wasn't his character's name?
Oh, from Gladiator?
I
don't know. Well, speaking of Gladiator, my number 6, combat sports. There you go.
Man, if Gladiators, if we had a chance to watch Gladiators fight in like an arena, that would probably be number 1 for me. But.
Well, and that's kind of my thing with combat sports is because, I think I'm getting old. Because one thing that bothers me about combat sports is the violence.
It is pretty violent.
I'm getting more squeamish as I get older. Like, I sometimes don't enjoy watching people hurt each other. It's weird. But despite that, combat sports is really enjoyable whenever there's a good match. They do such a good job at hyping it up and about making the stakes seem really high. I think that the Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder fight was a great example of that. Obviously, the downside to combat sports is the pay-per-view aspect, which is a big bummer for a lot of people. But honestly, like I said, if you really want to watch it without having to pay all that money, you can figure that out. You can make it happen.
You can invite some friends over.
Exactly. And so I put boxing above MMA because I think that MMA can be very entertaining, but I like that boxing is structured so that the matches last longer and you have less of a risk of disappointment. Because MMA, it happens a lot more often that this fight that's been built up for a long time ends really quickly, and where boxing, on the other hand, it does feel more like an event. And again, I think that boxing benefits from having the iconography like baseball, where it's this classic sport. And so you've seen Rocky, you've seen clips of Muhammad Ali and documentaries about him, and so boxing kind of has this standing as a iconic sport in American history, and so it's that's part of the enjoyment, is that you like watching this legacy. So there you go, combat sports. It's fun, but
violent.
But it's violent. They punch each other, and freaking Tyson Fury doing crazy stuff like licking the blood out of Wilder's ear, like. Jeez. And then especially MMA. MMA is insane. I cannot believe, guys, that MMA is an actual popular sport.
Yeah, it's pretty violent. It's bloody.
Yeah,
man.
by the
it's
end
bloody.
of the night, there's blood like all over the floor, just everywhere. And I'm just like, wow, how is this okay? But it's still fun to watch. I can't deny that.
I hope they're all checked for, HIV and all sorts of diseases.
Yeah, I'm sure they go through a lot of physicals and a lot of tests.
Think of their brain just bashing into their skull all the time.
Hey, I don't see why anyone would want to be a fighter, because you look at their ears. They got that cauliflower ear. All of them do. It's disgusting.
And just like with
why would they want to do that?
With all this, how many concussions do they have in their life? Like as a professional boxer or MMA fighter, whatever, how many times are you knocked out and before you make it big? Because think of the NFL, all these players having getting CTE and all that stuff. What happens to it? I feel like just the chances for a fighter, a boxer, or a UFC fighter would be just greater, way greater than an NFL player getting it. But I don't know.
What's nice about them is that they don't get hit as often, so because they'll go months before fights.
That's true.
And sure they're still sparring and stuff in between, but so that's kind of good. So it's not as much of a constant thing. But that's it. Those are our top 10 through 6 sports, and I guess I'm kind of not really surprised by y'all's rankings.
Yeah,
I'm surprised that JP, you didn't rank soccer yet, did you? Is that going to be in your top 5?
Well, I guess it has to be, you idiot.
And so I'll be curious to see what y'all's next ranked sports are. But so before we get out of here for the evening, let's talk about resolutions. So we kind of hinted at some of this. Throughout our discussion. What's the sport that you would like to watch more of? So what are you gonna make a commitment to? New Year's resolutions. I'm gonna watch more baseball, as I said. I'm gonna become a Texas Rangers fan.
Yeah, that's good. Baseball is fun to watch, and once you know a lot of the players, something about it just opens up, and it's a lot of fun. And we'll be doing fantasy baseball, so that's easy to keep up with, because by doing fantasy baseball, I've learned about so many different players, and so it's pretty cool to get involved that way. But anyways, yeah, baseball's great.
Yeah. What about you, Nick? What's your resolution?
Well, I have actually 3 sports I would like to watch more of. One I probably won't watch more of, but boxing, like I said, I would like to watch more of that if it's on TV. The NBA, because I watch some college basketball, but I don't watch a lot of NBA. It'd be
hey man, start watching the Mavericks.
Yeah, I know I need
They're,
to.
a lot of fun.
Yeah, I need to watch some more NBA and also tennis. I like to watch more tennis because I know you guys really like it, and whenever I have watched it in the past,
I noticed that none of us ranked tennis in 10 through 6.
I was sure that it would be like Nick's, at least 6 or 7.
I'm going to say this again the next week, but every time I watch tennis, it's pretty entertaining. And
Very entertaining.
It's pretty fun, so I would like to watch a little bit more of it. I'll probably just, to ease into it, just watch probably the semifinals and finals of these major tournaments. But yeah, those are the 3 things I would like to watch more of in the next year.
Nice. JP, what about you?
I would like to watch more soccer. And I should say motorsports, but I don't think I can get myself to watch more motorsports.
I would recommend commit to F1. Like, just if you're gonna watch motorsports, just watch one of them. And I would recommend Formula One.
Okay, I can start. Because like I said, Formula One does sound it looks cool and it sounds more interesting than at least NASCAR. I know
the races are shorter too, so that's nice.
Yeah. And then more like regular season basketball.
Yeah.
Because I like the playoffs, but when it comes to the regular season, I don't watch it that much.
Yeah. Well, hey, and for if you want to get into soccer, they MLS season just started up. FC Dallas is currently undefeated. They have a record of 1-0, so let's keep that streak going. A resolution that I actually want to start watching less of. I want to watch less wrestling. I need to stop.
Yeah, I think you should. It sounds like you have a problem.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible. And it's always on. There's so much wrestling. Did I tell y'all that I watched like 18 hours of wrestling a few weeks ago?
Oh, dear Lord.
Yeah, it was.
That's much. It's a bit much.
So that's my resolution. Watch less wrestling. Okay, well, that about wraps it up for this week's episode. Tune in next time where we'll be doing another $15 Amazon gift card giveaway. Retweet our image. We'll post another one. Use the hashtag, please, in order to be entered into the contest. That's how we search for and find your posts. We keep them cataloged in a spreadsheet, and then I randomize the contestants, and then we select them that way. But yeah, so check that out. Remember, we're on Twitter at whatisports1 with no question mark. And next week we'll be doing the part 2 of our countdown for our top favorite sports. So tune into that. We'll also be talking about some honorable mentions of the more obscure sports that we've covered on the show, because there has been several weird ones that we covered. And also talking about what we're going to be doing in the future. So hope you enjoyed what you heard. We'll see you guys next Wednesday.